Welcome, everyone, to Raw Dog Game Reviews. I'm the Raw Dog, and this is what we do here at Raw Dog Game Reviews. I'm going to review a game I recently played. But here's the catch. There's no script and no editing. I'm just going to ramble on my review for the game, off the top of my head, off the cuff, if you will. Now that that's out of the way, let's get to it, and let's go in Raw Dog.
Okay, this time we're reviewing Ghost of Tsushima. Or, we're reviewing Discount Ghost of Tsushima. Or, as you might know it, Rise of the Ronin. And for those of you that watched my impression video, I think you understand that my impressions haven't exactly changed. So, this is one of those times where I'll say that, yes, I review games that I like. I review games that I enjoy. Because I buy games that I like, I buy games that I enjoy, and I play games that I like, and I play games that I enjoy. But this is one of those instances where that's not entirely true. I don't like this game. I pretended that I liked it for a long time. I tried to get my money's worth, and yeah, that was a thing. But I have to say that I really, really didn't like this game. I feel right now I'm even trying to tell myself, oh, it wasn't that bad. But no, seriously, I didn't like this game. I didn't like it. Yes, there are parts of it to like. Let me assure you, there are parts of it to like. But for the price I paid and for the torment that I went through, I would say no. No, it wasn't worth it. And no, I didn't like the game. As a whole, I didn't like it. Parts of it, I liked. So, yeah, I didn't like this game. In fact, this is what I've been saying for a lot of the game. And I think it stands very true and shows my points right here. When I was playing Rise of the Ronin, there were times that I hated it, and there were times that I liked it. That's it. Because sometimes I would say that, oh man, I love this game. There are times that I really just love this game. I never said that. I said like. Because yeah, I never loved this game. There were just some rare instances where I liked it, and the rest of it was me hating this game. Oh, it even hurts myself a little bit to say that because it comes from the same creators or same team or no, same company. I should say same team. I don't know if the team was the same. I didn't read the credits enough. Same company that made Neo, and I love Neo. I love Neo 2. I love Wo Long. I liked Strangers of Paradise. I didn't love it. I liked it. But then they just screwed up so horribly in this game. Rise of the Ronin is not good. I would say it's not good. I would say it is a terrible discount copy of Ghost of Tsushima, and they did not do that even well. They tried really, really hard to make Ghost of Tsushima, and in my opinion, it did not succeed. Ghost of Tsushima outshines it by a lot, and also, it's just not that good. They had great foundations in Neo, great foundations in Wo Long, but they chose to do something stupid, and it made the game suffers terribly for it. And I would also like to say that there is something called Stellar Blade. And I know I shouldn't compare it too much, also because Stellar Blade came out practically the exact same time, so they couldn't really have learned from Stellar Blade's greatness. But if you want to make a game that relies heavily on parry, in my opinion, every other maker, even FromSoft included, look at Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade does it right. The parry is so well used. So, yeah, Rise of the Ronin does it wrong. Just like I would say Sekiro does it wrong, or did it wrong. In fact, that's one of the reasons I don't like Rise of the Ronin is because it's a lot like Sekiro. And yes, people can say, oh, it's because you're not good enough. You didn't get good. You know what? No. Yes, I suffered through Sekiro, and I did get good on it, and I played. And you know what? I hated the game. I hated it. But I can tell you right now, I hate Rise of the Ronin more because Sekiro was harsh and it was built on a parry that barely functions as it was very, very, very precise timing, and the game that you don't upgrade at all. Their stats never really change, and yeah, there's a lot of problems that I have with Sekiro. I'm not going to dive into every little bit of it. But basically, it's that the parry is way too precise, and that your stats basically never change, so that you can walk into the beginning zone halfway through the game, and the guys in the beginning zone will still one-shot you. because the stats don't change. Your character doesn't actually grow. Your character doesn't get any better. You just hopefully get better at parrying, and you have to parry so much and work so hard on every single enemy, not just the bosses, but the little enemies. Like, no, you shouldn't have to work that hard on a little enemy. But anyway, I digress. Let's get back to Rise of the Ronin. So, Rise of the Ronin. Yeah, that's my problem with it. Is that the parrying is far too precise. It also feels like it's random sometimes, especially when one of the things says to you, "Oh, this increases your chances of parrying when using um, un what's it, unarmed strikes." So I'm thinking to myself, so unarmed strikes has a chance parry, not a real parry. Like it's not that the timing is wrong. It's that there's actually a percentage chance of it just not working. So is that all the parries? Because yeah, that's usually a universal thing in the game. If something has a chance factor, it's universal across all the forms. So if the parry has a chance factor on unarmed, does that mean the parry has a chance factor on everything? I think it might, and that is one of the reasons I seriously don't like this game. Because yeah, if the parry has a random chance factor, then that would explain a lot of why I died in this game, and a lot of why the parry felt random. But anyway, yes, the game the game is annoying. I don't like it. I can't honestly recommend it very well. But let's dive into the points. So first, let's talk about the good things before we talk about the bad things. And yeah, I usually go in this order anyway. Graphics. The graphics are fine. Graphics are good. Now, yes, the characters don't look beautiful. They don't look amazing. You're not going to go, oh my god, these characters look so flawless and beautiful with their hair. No, the game is not made for that. It is a Souls like. It is a thing like that where the characters and the character models are not meant to look very pretty. It's meant to look a little more realistic, and yeah, a little bit. And it's meant to be the world is meant to have more graphical style in it. The world is meant to be more beautiful. So the characters get the downside of that. The characters models do not look great. The character features do not look great. The game itself, though, the environments and the buildings, the landscapes, wow, they look good. They look nice. I enjoyed looking at the scenery. I enjoyed traveling around the scenery. So yes, the graphics of the game, in my opinion, look nice. I think they did their job very well. I think the world looks good, looks open, looks clean and beautiful. There's lots of things in the world. There's lots of trees and lots of mountains to climb. There's lots of nice, beautiful scenery in the game. The game looks good, and the cities look good. All of these things look really good, look realistic to the points, to the eras. Like the graphics look good. The graphics do look good. I don't like to harp on graphics. I'm not a big graphical person. So let's get into the next piece. So yes, the graphics are good. Let's get into the next piece. Story. The story is good. Oh, that's one of the points I have to say that's where this game gets it right. And that's where that the Team Ninja and their Souls likes have never gotten it wrong. The stories are awesome. I love the story of Neo. I love this. Oh, I like the story of Neo too. I prefer Neo one. I love the story of Wolong. I still also prefer Neo one. But again, I really like the story of Rise of the Ronin. The story was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed a lot of the characters, obviously, as well as because they're historical. So you'll meet a lot of historical characters. Oh, I should say characters. You'll meet a lot of historical figures in the game, and they're used well. They're captured well. This is historical fiction, where it's history with fiction flavored in, and to spice up the plot to keep a player engaged. But yeah, it's history. These characters, a lot of these people existed. I keep saying characters. A lot of these people existed, and there is history in the game. It teaches you some things. Now, obviously, like I said, it's a game. It's fiction. You can't all of these things did not happen. Some of these things did happen, and a lot of this game has a lot of major things that happened in the history. So yeah, it is still historical. Obviously, take it with a grain of salt. You know how it is. It's a video game for Christ's sake. But anyway, yes, that's where I like it. It does a very good job on the history. It does a very good job on the story. It's engaging. It's very interesting. Although I do have to say this, I wish they picked a better character for the plot. Oh my god. I don't know if Ryoma Sakamoto, which is your main partner, I put air quotes, you can't see me, I put air quotes, your main partner throughout the game. I don't know if he's 100% a historical figure. But I wish he was not your main partner. I wish he was not the main focus of the plot because he is. That's what I don't like about these kind of Souls games, where it's like you make your character, and your character is just the friend of the main character of the game. Ryoma Sakamoto is the main character of the game. He is the one the plot is following. You are basically following him. Yes, there are parts of the game where you go off and do your own thing, blah 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 blah. It doesn't matter. The game is really about him and about his struggles throughout the thing. But I wish they picked a better character than him, and I wish that he was a better character. But again, if he's historical, then I can't. I mean, like he is who he is. But the problem I have is that he flip flopped throughout the plot line so much that it made my head spin. It was annoying. It was just like, oh, at the start of it, oh, I'm against the shogunate. We're going to fight against the shogunate, and we're going to show them that the shogun is wrong and outdated. And yeah, cool. So we're siding with the anti-shogunate group. Cool. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna keep doing that. I can pick sides. Oh, that's interesting. Wait, I can pick sides. Okay, so I'm gonna do a few missions for the pro shogunate. Oh, so I can actually like play both sides of the war. Interesting. That's what I did. I played basically both sides, and the game lets you. The game shouldn't let you. I'm giving a death glare right now. The game really shouldn't let you play both sides of the war like it does. But now I don't. But now I understand why it does, because so does Ryoma. He plays both sides of the war. Yes, that first chapter you're like, oh, anti-shogunate. Second chapter, Ryoma changes. He flip flops. He's completely pro shogunate. Oh, the shogunate has this man Katsukanda. He is amazingly wise, and he has the right idea for Japan. So we're going to follow him. And yes, you follow him so far in the second chapter. And then the third chapter, you're like, no, I have to go see if my friends are okay because my friends were the anti-shogunate. We have to go see if they survived the giant battle. We just massacred a whole bunch of them. And he goes to see if they're okay. And then during that, he's like, okay, we're going to join your side again. So now we're anti-shogunate again because the shogunate has gone too far. And then he's just like, but no, the senseless violence has to stop, and the shogun knows how to stop it. Chapter 3, we're going to rejoin the shogun. You can't see me, but I'm so angry at this. The man flip flops every chapter. It's ridiculous, and the game allows you to do this. The game seems like it is aimless and can't follow its own plot. Now I can't be sure if it's because the way that I handled the game that it did this, but I don't think so because it's the main storylines that do these things. They don't actually give you a lot of choices in the game. They don't actually give you a ton of choices. I think it's more like for because honestly, they don't give you a lot of choices to where you decide to go in the war. And I only made a few certain choices that I think really affected things. I ended up being pro shogunate in my status in the profile though. But I mean, like, I don't think that matters too much because again, there were chapters where I was doing things under anti-shogunate groups and I was still taking their missions. But they were still like, "Oh yes, friend, help me do this thing." When it's like I'm clearly pro shogunate in my status, in my title, and everything, and they're like, "Yes, friend, help us fight the shogunate," and I'm like, "Nah, I'm definitely on their side," and it was really silly. It just felt ridiculously silly for the game to flip flop like this constantly. So I don't really understand what the game was trying to do with that. And I think that if Ryoma is a real historical figure, I didn't do the research. I'm not going to. If he was, then the man could not, could not decide on a straight path for life. He flip flopped immensely, and I feel like the game shouldn't have followed him then because it doesn't make a very interesting plot if you're just flip flopping back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's like you can't decide if you want a burger or a hamburger, or if you want a chicken burger. Like, oh, but the hamburger is so. Then I will have to see the chicken burger, and then the chicken burger will hate me, but I can't go back to the chicken burger later. It's just ridiculous. And yes, like I said, I played both sides of the war. I did missions for both of them where I was helping out both groups, and it just feels silly. It feels really silly to do a mission, and these are main missions, main storyline missions that I could not pick a side. It wasn't a side mission. It was a main storyline mission where I went ahead and joined the pro shogunate group to help police the what was it, Kyoto? Help police Kyoto or help police Edo. It was policing Edo. We were policing Edo. No, it was policing Kyoto. We were policing Kyoto, and because we're the Shinsengumi, and it was, and yeah, I was just slaughtering the anti-shogunate guys, and then like A mission or two later, the anti-shogunate was like, "We're going to go into this place, and we're going to help us slaughter the pro shogunate guys, the Shinsengumi." And I walk in there, and like I'm wearing a mask, and they're like, "Yes, you're a new recruit," and I'm supposed to like infiltrate them and spy. And I'm like, you guys know who I am. You guys know my fighting style. Like we're friends, and they just completely didn't know who I was. And and then like I killed one of their guys in front of them, and then like moments later they're like, "Yes, my friend, again, I see you." And it's just like it's like the game doesn't really understand its own plot line because you're just able to jump between sides so ridiculously silly. It's so dumb. It was a really dumb plot line like that. I really didn't like that. I It would have been better if it stuck to one plot, or made you choose in the beginning which side you want to be, and really had one really straight plot. Where yes, I'm pro shogunate. I'm helping the shogunate. I only do these missions, and I only do that, and that's where it goes. That's where how the plot follows. Or you're anti-shogun, and you do those missions. It really should have done that, but no. The game, no matter what you pick, the game makes you flip flop a lot, and it was really silly, really silly. That's also because it didn't matter which areas you took over. If you were pro shogunate, which I was, you could go into anti-shogunate territories and help save the people, and clear out the area of the shogun of the anti-shogunate group that's disturbing the peace. But then when you go into a pro shogunate area that also has the people disturbing the peace, they don't help you. They're still your enemies, and you still have to clear them out because you're not really taking a side. You're playing the middle. You're playing both sides. It's so weird. It's so silly. It doesn't understand what it wants to be. So yeah, I think the plot was really silly. I think the story was really silly. It was really cool how it had history in it. It was really interesting with the history. I like seeing and interacting with a lot of historical characters, a lot of historical figures. I keep saying characters, and I think the history of it, I think the plot of the game was interesting. And I think that part of it was really cool. But I wish they just taken better care of it and shown a different side of it and had you do different things because it felt really flip floppy. It felt really silly, and I'm dreading it. But well, I'm not dreading it. I'm happy for it. Here we go. The gameplay. The gameplay is garbage. It's complete and utter trash. Complete and utter trash. I don't know who decided to make the square button do three different attacking actions, but they need to be slapped in the face because that is where all of my problems lie with this game. I could deal with the precise parry because I started to get a hang of it kind of during the during the late parts of the game. I started to get the hang of the parry. I started to land it a lot more often. Started doing really well. Whereas where I told myself I'm enjoying this game, I was not enjoying the game. And anyway, I can forgive the parry for being so precise. Like I said, I got kind of used to it. I did get good. I've played tons of Souls. I know the term. I'm right to use it. But anyway, so the problem I'm having is that yes, the problem is the square button. So I'll tell you right here, right now. It goes by the standard Koei Tecmo, Team Ninja rulings of Souls-like, where square is to attack and triangle is your heavy attack. Basically, it plays off Warriors buttons, which I like that. I love that in Neo. I love that in Neo too. I love that in Wulong. I like that. So that's not the problem. The problem is that the square button also, if you hold it down, does a charge attack. And then if you tilt the analog stick forward and press square, you do a lunging attack. Now, do you see the problem here? And they didn't make it so that you have to hold the button down and then release it to discharge attack. No, it's literally if you hold the button down. And what they mean by hold the button down is press it for longer than a millisecond. I'm not even joking. I'm giving more death glares. Seriously, I cannot tell you how many times I dropped my combos because I pressed the square button just a little bit too hard in the flurry of combat. And I started doing my charge attack, which my charge attack is I use the bayonet style. First of all, let me say that. I forgot to say this. The combat styles are awesome. And I loved using bayonet. Bayonet was my style. But so I'll come back to that in a second. But let me finish saying this. I use Bayonetta style, and the charge attack for it is where you roll backwards and do a shot, or you just stop and do a gunshot. There's different styles to go from, but basically they all do a gunshot for the charge attack. So the point of the matter is that really broke my combo. So there'd be so many times where I'd be like slash 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 slash, and doing a great combo. Key flash, blade flash, slash 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 slash, blade flash, slash slash slash, blade flash. Doing a nice combo, being super aggressive, depleting the enemy's key, about to do a nice finisher on them, and then I press the button just for that millisecond too long, and charge attack. My combo is just dropped 100%, and now I've lost all my advantage in the fight. The enemy comes back over, punishes me immensely for that mistake, and kills me. And I can't tell you how many times that happened. I just can't, because there's no number that I can use to actually correctly represent that. It was ridiculous. It made me so angry, so furious, because it was not my skill, it was not my ability in the game. It was literally that the controller is too sensitive on them, and they should not have put so many different combat things in one button. I can't tell you again how I'd be in the middle of combat and then slip and like, oh, I want to advance on this guy and press forward a little bit while I'm pressing square, and he did the lunge attack. And again, that messed up my entire combo. And again, it threw me off and I died because of it. So many times. So many times I died because of that. Other times I died because the key flash didn't activate. I did my attack, 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 and then went for the key flash to get blade flash to get my key back, and the blade flash didn't activate. So my next button press of square, because I expected it to activate, came in, and I went attack him again. I was like, no, where's my key? My blade flash was supposed to activate. I'm supposed to be getting my key back now, and then I ran out of key in my combo, and then I got punished and died. So many times, the game just literally messed with me that I died because of that. I died because the game messed with me so many times. Okay, so I want to pull back for a second and go for a good point here. Oh, I also want to go back for a good point. So let's pull back. Pull back away from the anger. I forgot to say one thing about some good things about the gameplay. Let's pull back and let's refresh ourselves. The exploration is awesome. I love the exploration. The stealth kills are fun. The exploration is really nice. Oh my god. The fact that when you walk by an item on the ground, the game auto picks it up, that's awesome. I wish every game had this. Maybe not every game. Dragon's Dogma you would die for, because you would instantly be over encumbered. But no, like any other Souls game, lots of games would benefit from an auto pickup. That is so convenient. It's so awesome. I love it. All I have to do is run by something and he goes, picks it up, picks it up, picks it up. That was beautiful. I loved it. Please, every game from now on, have that. Thank you. Auto pickup was awesome. Exploration of the game, awesome. I loved running around in the world of Rise of the Ronin. That was my favorite part of the game. I did all the side missions because I like exploring, because I like running around the world, because that was where the game was fun. The stealth kills were nice. Using the glider was so nice and so abusive. I abused the glider. Honestly, I feel like they should have nerfed it because I abused it so heavily. So yeah, the glider is fun. It's awesome, and you can jump from a building, glide off the building when you're like 30 feet off the ground. It's ridiculous. How can you use a glider from like 30 feet off? It doesn't make any logical sense, but it's fun. It's fun. And so the glider was really fun. But anyway, so yes, you can jump off and use the glider. And while you're on the glider, you can whistle for your horse. Your horse will ride up underneath you. And as you get closer to the horse, you'll instantly flip off the glider and land on the horse and keep going at full sprint. It's awesome. I love it. The exploration and like the movement of the game was beautiful. That part was awesome. I really liked that. The whole idea that I could just leap off a mountain, go into my glider, be soaring through the skies, see the land beneath me, and be like, okay, well, I'm running out of key. I need to get down there. Whistle for my horse. See my horse come up across on the land. Be like, yep, good. And then release my glider, fall through the air like a skydiver, and then put my glider back on for like half a second as I'm getting really close to the ground, and then flip off the glider and lay on the horse majestically and just keep going. Was awesome. I did that a bunch of times too, and it was so cool. That was cool. That was where the game felt beautiful, and that's where I liked the game, was in the exploration. The exploration of the game is awesome. And then one step further, the combat. Not the combat. The combat styles all the different weapons you can use, all the different combat styles with those weapons was awesome. I've never seen such an array of weapons. Not even the Souls games have this many weapons. There were so many different weapon types you can use, so many different combinations of styles you can use with those weapons. It was so cool. So many different ways to fight, so many different ways to do things. I wish the combat was better, but the combat styles were so good and so cool. I primarily use bayonet. Usually I use two sword style in basically all games, or archery. And I did use two sword style for a while in Rise of the Ronin. It's fun. I like two swords. Don't get me wrong. I love two swords. But now I'm a dual wielder by heart. But anyway, so then I found the bayonet and I was like, yo, it's a bayonet. I can use bayonet. And I was like, well, I'm going to try this. So I was like, yo, it works like a spear. That's cool. And then I shot in the middle of my combo. And then when I did the critical hit, I pulled the guy onto the ground with the sword, pulled my blade out of him, and shot him through the head and blew his head off on the ground. And I was just like, that is awesome. So yeah, I love the bayonet style. It's cool. It's every function of having a gun blade, and it's so cool. I mean, people that actually use bayonets never fought like this. I'm not joking, because you can't actually fight like this with a bayonet, especially with the way the bayonets are made in the game. The way the bayonets are made in the game and the way that they're showcased is basically a rifle with a wakizashi. There you go. Sorry, I lost the word there for a second. With a wakizashi like wrapped to it, or like yeah, basically wrapped to it, so it could have a stabby point at the end. That would never hold in combat. It would definitely start flying off the wraps, and like it would never be so secure. You could never actually fight like this, and that's what I love about it. It was so cool and nonsensical. It was awesome. Now, granted, bayonets in revolutionary times in America, in the colonies, you could fight similarly because the bayonets were like, forged into the muskets, and yes, there were some of them that were, you could just slide them onto the barrel and all that stuff. But there were other ones that were also forged onto the musket. Not forged in the word, welded. There you go, welded. They were welded onto the musket so they would not fall off, and you could not move them. But basically, that was the thing. So you could kind of fight in the same way, where you could use it kind of like a spear and kind of use it like a blade to guard and like. But no, the game was complete and awesome fantasy in that manner, where it was literally like a wakizashi strapped to the end of a musket, or end of a rifle. It's not a musket, end of a rifle, and you're just basically using that like a spear. That's also a gun. So that was really cool, and I really liked that. That was awesome, and I enjoyed so much using the bayonet. It's the coolest thing I've ever used in a game. I mean, you can't use that in real life like that because, like I said, it would not function that way. Even if you had a musket or a rifle with a welded on bayonet, it still would not work in the same manner because the blades were too small. They weren't made for slashing. It wouldn't work in the same manner. But it's just cool. That's what games should be. They should be fantasy. They should be cool. So yeah, I really liked the bayonet. Bayonet was awesome style. I really enjoyed using it. And there were a lot of cool combat styles you could fight against too. And the characters that you fought against also could become your allies. And playing as those allies was awesome because they brought these really cool fighting styles that you can't have as a player, which that bothers the hell out of me. And we'll get to that. But yeah, they have really cool styles. Like there's this one character, I forgot his name, but his dual swords are attached by a chain. And when you're using the sword, he like throws one off the chain and uses it like as a whip kind of chain combo, and it's awesome. He's like swinging his swords by the chain and using them like twirling blades, and it looks so cool, and it's awesome. It's like, why can't I use that as a player character? I wish I could have. I would have used that, but I can't. But anyway, that's really cool. And there was another character that had basically jet boots and was practically flying around the screen, and he could be your partner, and you could do that. Well, I'm not sure how much you could do. I didn't actually play with him, but yeah, he could do some of those things, and he was flying around the screen. It was really cool, and I was like, yo. And there was another character who was using two great swords instead of using two normal size swords, using two great swords, one in each hand. And I was like, yo, I want to hold two great swords, but I couldn't do those things, and I was really sad. But the point I'm trying to get at is there are so many combat styles in this game, and that's really awesome. And I like all the diverse combat and all the ways the game is really cool. So that is really cool. So let's see. I talked about the exploration and the combat styles, and I talked about the history. Yep, that's all the ways that the game was good. So let's get back to how the game sucked. Bring back the anger. So yeah, the game is garbage because those combat styles are awesome, but the game's combat does not function well. So you lose out to it a lot. To go further, let's dive into the pure mechanics of the game, which is like I said, the bread and butter of the game, what you're going to be spending 70, 60 hours with. That combat style, that combat mechanic. So to defeat an enemy, you want to obviously deplete their life. To deplete their life, the best way to do it is by parrying. Because when you parry, you make it so that their ki goes down, or so you basically waste their ki, and then you give yourself more ki, and you get them into a staggered moment. To do that, because you have to parry them really well. But here's the problem. You end up getting to a point where the game shows you that, oh, some combos can't be parried like that. Some combos you have to parry the entire combo before you can actually get a stagger off on them. Here's that non-rewarding parry I talked about with Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade rewards your parries by the enemy having a parry bar, a parry meter, a parry point, whatever you want to call it, where every time you land a parry on them, the parry bar goes down. So that when you finish parrying them enough times, you get to do a super awesome stagger attack, and it's beautiful. You can kind of do that in Rise of the Ronin, except that it's just their stamina bar, which does not really get depleted all that much, and obviously comes back really fast. So every time you get a parry, if you don't get the entire 5 or 6 parries in a row, you don't actually get anything out of it. You just get punished. The game doesn't actually give you a reward for that. Because here's what happens. Let's say the enemy has a 5-hit combo, and but only that last 5th hit is the one that gets the stagger on it, and you want to. But also to get the critical attack on them, you want to basically parry all of them, so you can parry the entire combo. Then they'll have lost enough ki and done enough damage to their ki that you actually can get the critical on them. That's what you want to do. But now you go in there and they come at you and you parry the first one, parry the second one, parry the third one, parry the fourth one. You're like, yes, I'm gonna get it. That fourth one comes in and you miss the parry. Guess what? Progress gone completely. Their stamina instantly fills back up. They're at full stamina again. You just lost your stamina because you parried, because parry takes stamina. You just lost your stamina because you got hit, because when you get hit, you lose stamina. So you just got double punished, and you lost health because you got hit, obviously. So you basically just got triple punished for missing a parry. Triple punished for missing one parry out of 5. One parry out of 5. And you don't get rewarded for that at all. Those 4 parries you did now meant nothing because the enemy got their full ki back. They're fine. So all that you did was nothing. All you did was waste your time. It's so utterly annoying how precise that parry is. Because that's true. It is exactly the truth of it, is that you just wasted your time. You wasted your stamina in the game. You didn't actually get any bonus from that. You didn't make any damage on their ki, because their ki doesn't take permanent damage. You only do permanent damage to their ki when you hit them. If you hit them, their ki goes down with their health, and you do permanent damage to their ki. Well, maybe not permanent. Once you do a critical attack, their ki goes all the way back to a full bar, and you have to try to do permanent damage again and again and again and again. You have to do it again and again. So it's not fully permanent, but basically it's permanent. But anyway, that doesn't matter because you would think that it matters because, like, oh, well, every attack uses stamina. Not for the bosses. They do not use stamina when they attack you, or at least they use such a minuscule amount that it doesn't matter. Their combos are 20 hits long, and you look at their stamina bar and it doesn't move. Only if you parry it does it actually go down. And the game's like, hey, you got their stamina to go down because you parried it. Great. But guess what? Their other 3 hits hit you, and now you have no stamina because every time that you get hit in the game, you lose stamina. And when you try to parry, but you miss a parry, you also lose stamina. So basically, you're just always fighting a losing battle because everything you do costs stamina. Except for walking, thank God. But yeah, dodging costs stamina. Parrying costs stamina. Getting hit costs stamina. Attacking costs stamina. So everything you're trying to do to retaliate against the boss bleeds your stamina dry. Whereas finally, the boss is going to beat the crap out of you with your stamina down and punish you for actually playing the game. Because basically, if you're playing the game in any way, shape, or form that is the way the game wants you to play, no matter what you do, unless you're parrying literally every single attack, you're just going to be critical all over the place and stagger all over the place because, like I said, every time you get hit, you lose stamina. Every time you parry, you lose stamina. So if you're looking at the game being like, okay, well, here we go. I'm attack, 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 attack. Cool. I got my combo off. That's my combo. Cool. Let me back off for a second and try to get my stamina back. While your stamina is trying to come back, the enemy is rushing at you, and now they're not losing a a millimeter of stamina. They're not losing anything. Their stamina is perfect, and they're just charging at you. And they come attack, attack, attack. Their stamina is still not going down at all, and you're just like, okay, it missed me, it missed me, it missed me, and you're like, okay, now he's too close. So I have to try to parry. So you try to parry, the game there goes your stamina because you tried to parry, and then you missed the parry, hit you. Now you more stamina gone, and now it's like, okay, cool. I'll parry the next one. It's okay. I'll recover. You try to parry again. I hope to God you got it, because no, if you didn't get it, you lost your stamina again, and you got hit again, so you lost more stamina, and guess what? Now you're out of stamina. So now you just get critical in the face. And it's just like the game is so utterly punishing for no reason at all. Like the game shouldn't be that punishing because you're not doing something wrong. You're trying to do everything the game is trying to give you to do. But the parry window is so small. The parry window is so small and so precise. And it takes a lot of stamina to parry, and your stamina never goes up. You level up in the game, but your stamina does not go up. I don't think your health goes up either, honestly. Or maybe your stamina does go up, but not in a way that actually matters. Because, like I said, the bosses have like unlimited stamina, and that's where the problem is. Because you could think that, oh, it's okay, they're playing by the same terms I am, so I can eventually get a win on this. You can't, because they don't play by the same terms. The bosses just run through you with their unlimited stamina and punishing you like crazy. Whereas, yes, you can sit there where like you can have a full bar of stamina and the enemy comes rushing into you and you're just trying to block and you're trying to parry and dodge all the attacks you can so you can try to have a breath to yourself to actually get an attack in somewhere. But guess what? Like I said, the bosses don't run on stamina, so they're just attack, 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 and it's like, where is my turn to attack here? Okay, let me get that parry off. Okay, I got a parry. Cool. So let me go into that attack, and then you got that parry. Guess what? Because of all the hits you took, or because of that parry you just did, you're out of stamina. So yeah, you got that parry finally, and now the enemy is staggering and open, but the game's like, no, you don't have any stamina left. You can't go in. The game just punishes you for playing it. I was so angry with this game. It's hard for me to put it into words. The game just messes with you. It really isn't good. I can't recommend it. Okay, so I this video started to get long. I've rambled on about how much I hate this game enough. So end it with this. The parry doesn't function right. Everything you do takes stamina. And because of that, you end up getting punished a lot. While bosses basically don't get punished at all for just abusing their endless stamina, having ridiculous combos that have super delays in their attacks, so that when you think you should parry, you don't parry because the parry window is so small that you end up missing the parry, which then, like I said, you lose stamina for trying to parry, and then lose stamina because you got hit. And then if you try to dodge, the same factor, you lose stamina for dodging. And like I said, then when you try to go in for the attack, you don't have any stamina left to go in for. And then when you try to key flash or blade flash to get your stamina back mid combo, hopefully it works. And if it did work, you get some stamina back, which is nice, but probably not enough to actually do a good combo. And then anyway, the bosses have super armor, so that after you do like 3 or 4 hits, if you even get 3 or 4 hits in, the boss now just is like, no, your hits don't matter to me. I'm just gonna pummel you through your hits. Whereas you don't have any super armor, so you get hit through. Well, okay, you have a little bit of super armor if you use the special martial attacks, but they're not really that good, and they're not really that. And also, like super armor doesn't help the player because the amount of damage you take is still very equivalent to getting hit. So if you're trying to abuse your super armor, it doesn't help you because you're getting hit a lot more, and you're taking a lot more damage than the boss is. So yeah, it doesn't actually help. But yeah, so you don't have a good super armor, but the bosses do have super armor. They have tons of health, so it works out in your favor ridiculously. Everything is in the game's favor. There's no way for you to work around it. It's ridiculous. So yes, let's end this video. Let's get to the end here. Rise of the Ronin is not good. Let's close out. The scenery is beautiful. The history of the game is good. The plot is okay. It's manageable, but it's silly. And the exploration of the game is awesome. The combat styles are awesome. But the problem of that is that that's not where you're playing the game. That's only 20% of the game is the plot, because the plot is just there. It just drives the gameplay. I love plot, and even I'm saying that. And obviously, the exploration is just the exploration. It's still side questing. It's still platforming. It's still just the other part of the game. What you are doing mostly in the game for 80% of the game is combat, and the combat sucks. The gameplay mechanics for the combat are complete and utter garbage. The fact that they put too many things in one button command makes the controls clumsy and clunky and messy. The fact that everything you do takes stamina means that you will always get punished for just trying to play the game. Not for doing something stupid, not for messing up, for trying to play the game. And you will not hit the enemies enough to actually make them take enough damage to actually punish them well enough. Yes, you can beat the game. I did beat the game. I suffered through it and I finished it. But like I said, it was not really enjoyable. I can't recommend it. I can recommend it for like $20 for like $20, maybe $30 if you're really into Souls likes and really into Ghost of Tsushima and open world games. I can recommend it for like $30, maybe $20. I actually say around $20, maybe $30. But I spent like 80 on it or 70 on it. You got the full digital deluxe. Yeah, I got the full digital deluxe pre-order edition, and the pre-order was garbage anyway. And the digital deluxe was also garbage. So yeah, I wasted my time and my money playing this game. I regret it. I hated it, and I can't honestly recommend it. That's all there is to it. So yeah, I don't honestly recommend this game. If you like it, if you're listening to what I'm saying and you think that, well, I like those kind of things, I like those Souls likes, and you want to give it a try, maybe Steam. No wait, I don't think it's out on Steam, so you can get your money back after a couple hours. I wish there was a demo. There isn't a demo. Um, I don't know. Maybe borrow from a friend or something, or buy a physical copy so you can get rid of it once you realize you hate it, or keep it if you like it. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. I'm happy that you enjoy it. I did not enjoy it, so I can't, with a good heart, recommend it. And that's that.
Okay, well, that was my raw review. Thanks for listening, and if you liked it and want to hear more, you can like and subscribe. But I'll be back here regardless whether you like it or not, with more raw dog gaming reviews. See you next time. Bye bye!